The thing that defines the last half acre is the breakdown of the profit motive as a driver for growth. Consider how much profit and how long it will take us to profit when planting our crops on any given acre of our 100 acres. Our most fertile land can return us a yield in a very short period of time. The soil is fertile, it can easily be irrigated, so if we buy this plot of land sitting unused, within the year we can have crops being harvested from that field for us to either use or sell. Let's call this the first 40 acres. The next best land with the poorer quality soil can be improved, but we're going to have to bring in better soil and fertilizer to get this land up to its highest yielding state. We could still get a crop there within a season or two, but the cost of preparing the soil makes these acres more expensive to grow, which we'll have to account for when counting up our yield. Our best soil only costs labor and seed, plus maybe some materials for irrigation. But the weaker soil costs all of that, plus irrigation over a longer distance, plus bringing in all that topsoil and fertilizer. The first yield from those acres might not be something that we're just free to eat or sell. At least part of that first yield might have to go back to paying what it costs just to use this land. That's our next 30 acres. Then you start moving into the acres with inadequate soil and environmental factors. Same baseline of cost, labor, seed, irrigation, soil preparation, but then you have to tack on moving some environmental obstacles. Some of that stuff is easier, like vegetation. You could chop down a grove of trees to clear more plantable acres, for instance. This is more of a mixed bag, because cutting down all those trees will cost you labor and time, but you're also producing something in the act. Wood. That's lumber or firewood for you to use or sell, which means at the end of the day, clearing some vegetation isn't much worse than if you only had to replenish the soil. It's a bigger undertaking, but it yields more than just the plantable acreage at the end. And that's our next 29.5 acres. Our last half acre is the half acre so treacherous and unusable in its current state that to put in the work to render that land usable would come at such a high cost that it might take years or lifetimes to repay, and run a risk of failure so high that any work done to it might never pay off or be repaid. For all these other actions to make use of the land, our farmer can pretty clearly see a path to getting some kind of return from their work within a year or two. But that last half acre is work that they might never see a payoff from, and it might never even pay off for their kids or grandkids. The last half acre is a combination of such high risks and high costs that only a coordinated long-term plan can get results out of it. No one person or actor can or would shoulder that cost and risk alone.